atmosphere, I would love a dome stadium at 70 degrees. But if I can't control the external atmosphere, then what about the internal atmosphere where I shift? And if I shift, and I shift long enough, you'll find the environment shift around. In fact, what's going to happen, I'm going to get back to the textbook, what's going to happen is if the team shows up and are excited, I promise you by the second quarter, the fans will forget how cold it is. Are you with me? Come on, you got to act like fans. I mean, holla back, fans. Okay, so what does that have to do then with this text? I know that you're much younger than me, and you may not even catch this illustration, but I got to share it anyway because I just told you 30 years since I was in county major. The prescription glasses that I wear right here, prescription glasses are no-line progressive bifocals. Yeah, I'm that old. Yes, I really do need them. They allow me to see what I'm reading at a different magnification than when I'm looking ahead of driving. Without my bifocals on, then words and images are blurred. When I put them on, everything is clearer and in focus. On this evening, I want us to see this very simple and familiar text through the lens of a no-line progressive bifocals, and I want us to magnify on a part of the story that we miss. Because I just said to shift the atmosphere, there's a cross, and there's an if and an I. So there's an if, there's one I. On the other side, there's another I. In the text, we have the words I, letter I, thirst, the letter I thirst. And I want us to see this in a different way. Our text in John 19:30 says, when Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, I finish. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. I want to tag this text with the title of sequence versus consequence. Sequence versus consequence. The verse begins with the words, when Jesus therefore had received. Stop right there. Based on the narratives of Matthew 26 and 27, Luke 22 and 23, and John 18 and 19, the story of Jesus' journey to the cross and crucifixion at Calvary is punctuated with verbs. From this, we find that Jesus was betrayed by Judas, taken, led, and brought to the high priest, denied by Peter, blindfolded and struck by the soldiers, questioned by elders, accused by people, interrogated by Herod, sentenced by Pilate, led to Calvary, hung on the cross, and mocked by the crowd and criminals. It is only when we get to this verse we read, when Jesus received. In all that was done to him, we find him thinking of, giving to, and focused primarily on others. Even when his hands were tied, true to his nature and the core of his being, Jesus asked his Father to forgive them. With little else to give, he offered John as a surrogate son to his mother, and a place in paradise to the criminal on his right. When things got tough, he admitted his deepest anguish, saying, my God, and he uttered his need, I thirst. But he actually, in saying, I thirst, asked for nothing for himself. It is after these words that Jesus received. Catch the sequence. Remember, I'm going to talk about sequence versus consequence. Catch the sequence. It says, he received, that is the vinegar. He said, and then he gave up. He received, then he said, it's finished, and then he gave up. What he received was vinegar, or wine vinegar. So let's consider the sequence.